This is Snake. Can you hear me? Good. The mission is simple. Put your geek pants on and infiltrate Foxhound. If you need backup, contact Ken and Chris on their codec frequency. Ready? Snake out.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Ken.
You just breaking shit.
Yep.
Breaking shit,
You
man.
know why?
That is a vintage game right there. That is vintage deal or no deal.
Tell you why I'm breaking shit. Because it's not my house.
Okay, well, that ain't good reason. I can't wait
Hey,
to visit your house.
you know what time it is? It's time for Instaquestions.
Instaquestions!
That's right. Not one, but 2 Instaquestions for Kenneth Livitski. Only because I had 2 last time. All right? So this comes in from Colin McRae.
Oh, what's up, Colin?
On the YouTubes. He wants to know.
Okay, yes.
What is your favorite superhero video game?
Ooh. Favorite superhero video game would hands down be Batman Arkham City.
Okay. All right.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Hands down.
Hands down, even more so than Spider-Man 2?
Yes. Because, well, Spider-Man 2 was incredibly fun just to fucking around. I never beat it. I didn't have the interest.
I beat it.
The missions, going for the missions in Arkham City for some reason just it kept me hooked. But in Spider-Man,
I'm actually going to agree. Arkham City is probably one of my all-time favorite superhero.
It's so damn good.
Yeah. That was one of those ones where I was on a mission to 100% it.
Mm-hmm.
I got all the Riddler trophies.
That's right. You were nuts with that.
I got all the Riddler trophies with Batman. I don't think I got them all with Catwoman.
Yeah, because they had all that. They had quite a bit of DLC for that.
But they had also the other, I'm talking the actual trophies. I got all of those. I didn't do those special moves where it's use 5 different gadgets in a fight, that kind of shit.
We didn't even introduce ourselves.
Oh,
we went right
I just
into
assumed
Instaquestions.
that people would have known that you're Kenneth Livitski and that I'm Christopher Mercier.
And that this is the Geek Pants
and
Camcast.
That is the Geek Pants Camcast. I just assumed that they were watching and they knew.
I'm really sorry, Colin McRae.
From the YouTubes.
From the YouTubes? I'm sorry I cut in with that introduction.
That's called a cold open. That's where they do the credits after we open our fucking mouths. But, okay. So, yeah, I'll
that was a great question.
I'll second that. Thank you, Colin McRae.
From the YouTubes.
Yeah. All right. Now, the next question, hold on, I think I had it right here from, where's this one from? This is from a fake Twitter address.
Oh. Like, at fake Twitter?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes. Now I don't even know what I'm going to ask you. I have no fucking idea. And to be fair, that question that just came to me, I was literally like...
That was a good question, and it kept with the whole theme.
Actually, I got a good question for you.
Okay.
Who is your favorite, parody superhero? You know how, Superman's got a million different Superman offshoots, and Batman's got a million different offshoots?
Yep.
Who would be an example of one of your favorites? I think I already know the answer, but we'll wait.
This is very interesting.
I'll be amazed if you don't say this.
I don't know because there's so many.
Yeah, and okay, when I say parody, I don't mean a joke character.
Yeah, I know. Okay. You're talking X23 the Wolverine.
I would have thought you would have said Invincible. Might as well be Superman and Spider-Man smashed together.
Yeah, I guess so if you look at it like that. There's a lot of similarities. Okay, fine. Invincible. Then.
No. See, you weren't thinking that.
You talked me into it. I was going right into Marvel, and I was comparing. I was comparing
So then continue.
Characters.
Continue.
Venom to Spider-Man and whatnot.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Sabretooth the Wolverine.
Okay. Even though I think they were created separately.
They're created separately, but
later.
Okay. He became a lot more Wolverine.
Yeah.
He's kind of the anti-Wolverine, right?
Wouldn't that be Romulus?
No, Oh, Romulus!
I know, like, I literally was just in my head.
Damn it, you ruined my number one, Daniel Way's Wolverine Origins. Such a brilliant run.
Crazy good run. Except that they had the gall to create Romulus, the deathless spawn or progenitor of all the fucking feral. We talked about this the other day, and I remember just I can't get over how much I thought that was a garbage idea. Hey, let's make Wolverine 7 feet tall, 400 pounds. Yep. Let's give him 4 claws. And let's have him be this feral son of a bitch, but also a genius mastermind.
The absolute best was the Wolverine hair with the ponytail in between.
Yeah.
It's like, could you look more disgusting?
That's literally Wolverine and Sabretooth smashed
like
together.
You are so slimy and gross. And like you said, how do these guys not smell this guy if he's watching them all the time?
Exactly.
Like, something smells like
shit. Even if we had it so that, say, Sabretooth's sense of smell was better than Wolverine's. Okay, so Wolverine doesn't smell him. Why doesn't Sabretooth smell him?
Right.
Why don't they hear him?
Someone should.
Why don't they see him off in the distance with their super heightened senses? Yeah. But they don't because he's in the shadows.
The guy's the size of a Wendigo. How do you not see this dude?
Wendigo. Nice. That's really nice.
Wendigo!
Yeah, I can't get over that. That's still just one of those things where I'm like, I understand what they're trying to do. Make it massive fail. Hey, Marvel. Kill off Romulus, never bring him back. Also, that's a dumb name for such a weird character.
Has he even been mentioned since the end of that run?
I don't think so.
I think he's gone now.
I think he's a one and done. But like, what a weird... Because you have Wolverine.
He's in the Bloodwind.
You got Sabretooth. He's in the Bloodwind. Nice, nice. That's a little episodic continuity.
There it is. There it is.
All right, now, okay. Yeah. Now, what time is it? Is it time for your top 5 comics?
My top 5 of all time.
Comics or comic runs. Last episode was mine, which naturally means that last episode was the highest rated episode we'll ever have. I don't know how well this one will do.
It will not be as good. I will tell you that. It will not be as good.
Look at you setting the bar low. I love it. I love it.
That's where you got to set it, right?
Okay.
I got all my point form notes here.
But you're also, you have a professional thing here. This was mine right here. This is it.
I dig yours. I like this. This is like you went to the shitter and jotted some notes.
Pretty close.
Pretty close? Pretty close.
Just at the table.
Yeah.
About 10 minutes earlier today, because I've read them so much that I don't need...
That's the thing.
I don't need your
That's the thing.
forms.
You revisit things a lot more often than I do, but I will agree with that. I'll revisit movies. But when it comes to reading...
I revisit so much.
You revisit a lot more than
I literally finished the Bendis Bagley Ultimate Spider-Man run. I just finished it the other day.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Incredible.
I've only read through that once. In fact, my top 5 today, I have only read, all of them, for the most part, I've read through once.
Okay. All right.
A few issues I've read more than one. So, yeah.
So are you going like 1 to 5 or 5 to 1?
I'll do 5 to 1 like you did. I liked the 5 to 1.
You build to it.
Here we go. Number 5 on my top 5 of all time.
Yeah.
Daredevil by Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that one. Because, yes.
This ran from issue 26 to 82 of Volume 2. They took a little break in between for David Mack's little Echo story.
That's right. That's right.
But for the most part, it was just 4 years straight of some of the best crime/superhero fiction I've ever read in my life.
Yeah, that was absolute and beautiful too.
Beautiful, like the gritty cinematic style. Most of the time I felt like I was watching something more than reading it. You're right. Oh, whew. It's so damn good.
That is so damn good. It's so good that when was it Lark and Rucka showed up?
Lark and Ed Brubaker.
Yes, Brubaker and Lark.
That was a great team to follow. But how do you follow that?
I didn't check it out because I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Especially because that end where he's in the courtroom.
Yeah.
And they do that flashback. He's in his head and he flips out, goes to Japan.
Yeah, I know.
And then he's just like, I can't do that. And you're like, he actually goes to jail. It's crazy. Yes.
So good.
So good.
Let's see here. Okay, so many will say that it rivals Frank Miller's classic run.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely does. I would say so too.
I think it tops it. And I think it tops it just because I like the realism of it all more. Miller introduced a lot of really interesting ideas and characters. Elektra, Bullseye, you know.
He did do a lot, but he also was one of the guys that was trying to downplay the powers aspect.
Yes.
And make it more like he was just, like, training. Through training, he had better senses and stuff like that. And I kind of like that. I like that he's got powers. Mm-hmm. I like that, like, he can taste chemicals and smell chemicals and things like that.
Yeah.
Or, like, he can feel ink on paper and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
All these things, and especially because when they start to fuck with him hard, it's like using his powers against him.
Yeah.
And it really well done, and Bendis really got Daredevil.
Like, we were talking about this in the last episode, like, last week. Ish.
Give or take.
You know, when you were talking about Ultimate Spider-Man and how Bendis, when he knows a character, he knows that character. The dialogue is spot on. You think you are reading this person in front of you like this.
Yeah, everything, it's totally true.
Like, his characterization is unbelievable. And it's not just Daredevil, like Foggy Nelson, Kingpin, Typhoid Mary, Daredevil, Black Widow. Like, he had so many characters.
When they introduced Typhoid Mary, I geeked out because I was like, oh my god, like, that was one of the ones that when I first read a couple of offshoot issues of Daredevil. And it was Miller's run.
Yeah.
And Typhoid Mary was one of them, and I remember just being like, fuck, she looks crazy. She looks crazy cool. But I agree. I do think this is better than Miller's run.
Yeah, I mean, I've read Miller's run, and it's great.
Yes, it is great.
As far as runs have aged, this has aged better. And yes, it's newer, but I feel like 20 years from now, I'm going to be saying the same thing.
Yeah, and I have to agree. In fact, I'm going to have to put that back on my pull list. Remember that phrase?
Oh, man, the pull list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even when they got into the crazier aspects, like, remember when there was the demon?
Yes.
You know, and like, there was, they were all in, like, sort of a Narcotics Anonymous type of thing, and they were talking about Daredevil, and then Daredevil's actually in the room, and he's just like, no, I'm here for I can't remember what the demon's name was, but even just that art was crazy.
And introducing, I forget her name, I think it was
Mila.
Mia?
Mia,
his wife.
Mia, but I thought it was spelled Mila, so it might be Mia.
He meets this blind woman, and they connect, and we see their relationship grow, and they get married, and then we see what she has to go through knowing he's Daredevil. And it's incredible.
It is absolutely so incredible. Remember the scene where she says, what was it? Foggy thinks you had a nervous breakdown. Mm-hmm. Did you? And he doesn't say anything. And then she leaves him because she feels like their entire relationship was built around him having a nervous breakdown.
Yep.
You know? And I thought that was really cool that, like, they went there with actually confronting a hero and saying, hey, like, I think you might have had a nervous breakdown.
And again, that's what I'm talking about, like, with the realism. Like, shit, that would happen.
Yeah.
I don't care how strong you are or how many bad guys you've taken down. Shit's going to get to you.
Mental aspect.
Shit is going to get to you.
Yeah.
You got innocents around you got to worry about all the time. Like, I can't imagine what kind of stress that would be like.
Exactly.
And like, the courtroom drama, too, was so well researched and so well written. Everything about this book, and Bendis did not hold back. He fucked Matt Murdock hard the entire run. Like, what was it, like 3-4 issues in? Unmasked.
Yep.
It's all over. Like, Matt Murdock is Daredevil.
And the rest of the run is him basically doing everything he can to say, no.
Yeah.
I'm not Daredevil.
Yeah.
No, it's bullshit. You know? But the Kingpin of Crime. Mm-hmm. He kicks the fuck out of Kingpin.
I know.
And says, he unmasks and goes, I'm him. I'm the Kingpin. You answer to me now.
Yeah. You
either do it as I say or get out.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't fucking believe I'm seeing this. So much so that when I saw Luke Cage Season 2, did you watch Season 2?
I haven't watched it, no.
You ready for a spoiler?
Go for it.
Are you going to watch it?
Maybe one day. I've been so incredibly disappointed by their shows lately, I'm just not in a rush.
He becomes the Kingpin of Crime.
Really?
Almost the same thing. He gets rid of Stokes, finally. Stokes' Shades is gone. He ends up becoming the new owner of the nightclub. And even Misty's like, what are you doing? And he's like, relax. I'm just gonna do this so that I can keep an eye on everything. His is a little bit more. It's less like, that's it, I'm the Kingpin. It's more like, no, I'm gonna use this to help me be a better crime fighter. And you're just kind of like, I don't know what they're gonna do with this one. But at least we don't get to see Daredevil do that, because it's fucking crazy. But at the same time, you're just like, how do you bounce back from that? And ultimately, he doesn't. He doesn't bounce back from that, because from jail, I think Kingpin's like, oh yeah, the Murdoch Papers. Yeah. Good pick. Good pick. You fucking nailed it right out of the gates.
Bendis, in the early 2000s, him with Miller, they're like essentially my comic heroes. I would friggin' read anything those two guys are doing.
Yeah, you were a huge Millar fan.
When they arrived at Marvel, I had no idea who these two guys were, and they ran a show. I watched this hilarious interview. Not an interview, but Bendis, Miller. I'm going to say
I keep
Miller.
hearing it's Millar.
I hear Millar.
I hear Millar more than Miller. So.
I hear Miller more if it's interviewers like from over there, like Ireland, Scotland stuff.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I don't know. I mean, it looks like Millar spelled out.
Yeah.
But anyway,
well, I remember when we first started saying it was Miller.
Yeah.
It was Miller, so. Whatever. I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about. But it was recently. It was a convention just like a couple months back. And the two of them were on stage just talking to each other. And it was so great because while Miller's talking about Miller World and the whole Netflix deal, Bendis is talking about his health and moving over to DC and how amazing Marvel was, saying goodbye to him and everything. And it's such a great conversation between the two. But this hilarious tidbit came out where they said during their big heyday at Marvel, when they went to retreats, Quesada wouldn't let them ride in the same cab together. Because if a cab got in an accident, he didn't want to lose the two riders. They had to take separate vehicles. How insane is that?
That is absolutely
like, talk
crazy.
About feeling like a rock star.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I'm not as huge a Millar fan as you are. Like, I feel like for me, he's more missed than hit.
He's these days he's not really hitting that much.
His Jupiter's Circle stuff is amazing.
I read the first issue of Magic Order and it's really good.
Yeah, eh? What was
but
the
it's
other
also
one?
Oliver Capel doing the art. So
Starlight was another one.
Starlight was good. Huck I enjoyed.
Yeah, I wanted to check out
Huck. Wasn't too bad.
Like some of his later stuff, but like even.
But I've become tired of Kick Ass and Hit Girl over time, and I don't really read those much anymore.
For me, what it is just, and it's Millar himself too. Is like with the stuff that I've mentioned, none of it seems like it's there just for shock value.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like with Kick Ass, there's like the rape scene and the dog head scene, and
there's a lot of
and I get that this is supposed to be a realistic interpretation of what a kid as a crime fighter would be like. Never mind that he wouldn't just get shot in the first 2 seconds. I mean, you can't tell a story that way, but like some of it's like you don't need to have a rape scene.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to have a dude's head switched over with his dog. Like that was
disgusting.
Just show it.
That was disgusting.
So Millar has always been one of I'm guarded when I look at Millar stuff.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because at the same time, like the Civil War was fucking amazing. His initial run on Ultimate X-Men was also crazy cool. Yeah. His Fantastic Four stuff.
The Ultimates themselves.
The Ultimates 1 and 2 were just holy shit.
I mean, the Ultimate line was ginormous back then, and so they were Marvel's moneymakers.
Oh yeah.
So
So
I mean, I definitely wanted a Bendis on this list. I knew a Bendis book was going to end up on this list.
Yeah.
It was between
I haven't checked out Daredevil in quite some time.
This Ultimate Spidey and Powers, but I feel like Ultimate Spidey and Powers have both gone like this every now and then, where I lose interest and I come back to it.
Okay.
Whereas this was just a solid, friggin' perfect read all the way through.
Yeah, it was actually really, really good. And you're right. Like even though I just said I finished the entire run, and you're right. Like there are parts,
which is a definite high point.
Yeah.
Of all the death, right?
Yeah, but like you're right. There are parts like it starts off like this, and it does
a little dip and then goes up again.
That's right. So, and then like after Bagley left, I didn't really read much after it because I remember even when they switched the branding to
Ultimate Comics,
Comics Spider-Man, And then was it Sarah Pacelli? Like early Sarah Pacelli art?
She came in with Miles. It
That's
was
right.
David LaFuente, the guy
yes,
who made
LaFuente.
the big round head.
Yes, and I could not get into that art, and even when they had like a really cool take on Mysterio, I could not get into that run at all. And they also he got back with MJ, then they broke up. It was really weird. So yeah, you're right, but
So Daredevil number 5.
Yeah, but how does it end? The Murdoch Papers doesn't even exist.
I know.
It was a way to get Murdoch out in the open and shoot him in broad daylight so that there's his blood as Daredevil on the fucking steps. That's fucking crazy. And then of course he gets arrested.
Yeah.
And goes to jail.
And then what happens? Bendis and Malibu okay guys, enjoy.
Yeah.
Like Brubaker and Lark coming into that's gotta be daunting.
I'll give them credit though because they went with it because they're like, okay, well, yeah. Instead of retcon the whole thing, they went, well, no, he's in jail.
Yeah.
Iron Fist is going to be Daredevil. Mm-hmm. Punisher is going to be in jail helping out fucking Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So good. Number 4 on the list. Here's where Mark Millar comes in. Superman Red Sun.
Yeah. yeah. I had a feeling this was going to get on the list.
With Dave Johnson and Killen Plunkett, I guess, to the 3rd issue. Dave Johnson only did the first 2, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So this was a 3-issue prestige series, they called it. It was for the DC Elseworlds. What was it, 2003, I think?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Roughly around there.
2003.
And I checked this out after reading a few of Miller's Marvel things.
I only checked it out because you were like, you got to read this.
And I read it, and my mind was blown. I've never been a massive Superman fan. Like Boy Scout.
I wasn't too enthused about it because I was like, yeah, okay, Superman is a Russian socialist.
Yeah, so the idea is that what if Clark Kent landed in the Soviet Union instead of U.S. because he left Krypton a couple hours later, which would cause Earth's rotation to be in a different spot at the time, lands in the Soviet Union.
Yeah. But yeah.
How mind-boggling is just that idea alone.
Yeah. But something that would have been like a 1-issue annual for Elseworlds.
Yeah.
They did a prestige format of 3 issues. Yeah. Great choice. Yeah. This is absolutely great.
Because it's not just a simple like a what-if issue.
Right.
Like, you're getting a whole story here. You're getting different versions of Batman and Wonder Woman and Green Lantern and Luthor. Like, it's Brainiac. So fucking Brainiac.
Like, I actually just reread this not too long ago. It's funny, you're like, yeah, you reread all the time. I do, actually.
You see? Yeah.
I do reread all the time, because I just reread it not too long ago. And yeah, like, just crazy.
Yeah. It's incredible. It's such a large story.
Is that all you have for notes here?
No.
Is it just incredible?
Incredible. Bold.
Yeah,
like,
just...
The font's at like 144.
I don't really know what else to say. It's incredible.
It's incredible. And again, why isn't this a DC animated film yet?
That's one... Like, I actually watched that... almost like the... I don't know what you call it. Where they did it and they do the voices. And then the panels, they kind of like shift the panels.
Those animated comics? Or
yeah, animated comics. That's I think that's exactly what it's called, actually. Okay. I even watched that one. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. The voice acting, it's not really voice acting. It's kind of like if you're reading your kid a story at night where you do all the different voices, right?
Yeah, like that's what, where is it? That's what this is.
Yes! Yeah!
This Astonishing X-Men, it's just Joss Whedon and John Cassidy's run, like, slightly moving with voices.
That's exactly it.
It's kind of weird.
It's a waste of money.
It's a waste of money.
Yeah. Especially because, like...
And I own it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I mean,
but when you read it with your own voices, right? Mm-hmm. Who's your Batman when you read comic books?
Oh, Kim Carnes.
Who's your Superman?
Ooh, I think it's probably Henry Cavill these days. But back before, it was more the animated series voice.
Tim Daly?
Tim Daly, yeah.
Mine's still Christopher Reeve.
Is it still Reeve?
Depends. A lot of times, actually, this is an intro into my psyche. A lot of times when I read them, the heroes are my voice. Yeah.
See?
Even
cool.
Batman. Batman's like my voice.
I mean, I don't always have actor voices in my head when I'm reading. Like,
no, I normally will read it in my voice.
Yeah.
Other characters will be whatever
you
voices.
go all high pitched with the ladies.
Yeah, well.
Oh, I love Batman.
Yeah, that's it.
Catwoman.
I love how you've got like 1930s dialogue. Oh, Batman! Hello! Greetings, Catwoman. What the fuck?
How about this weather?
Hard to tell because it's dark.
Yeah, I don't really have a lot of notes. It's just like the idea, and again, I haven't read it in a while, but
just I like
it's so like in my head, like Batman. What's it? Dawn of Justice, right?
Yep.
They did a little bit of the Red Sun look.
That's right. He had the duster.
Yeah. I know, like right away, I was just like, holy shit, it's Red Sun Batman.
That's what I said too.
Like,
I mean, sure, he doesn't have like the fucking Russian like fur hat.
Yeah.
But
it was Red Sun Batman. Like,
yeah. He was bitching though.
Oh yeah.
He was bitching. Like it was his parents were Russian. They weren't socialists. They were against Stalin.
Mm-hmm.
So they were killed because they were activists against Stalin, and he watched. So it's a similar.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's a Russian bent on it. And what is it, Batmankov?
Batmankov.
Anyway,
I kind of like it.
But he's actually, I think he's a smarter Batman than most Batmans are.
Yeah. He's
really smart. He figures out the Red Sun is what weakens Superman. Mm-hmm. He fucks up Wonder Woman hard, like really hard. Almost kills Superman by doing what? Detonating a bomb that was inside him. This isn't like Live to Fight Another Day. This is kill that guy at all costs. Yeah. And he almost does it too. That's incredible. Lex Luthor I thought was really cool. How he's the big hero. But the longer this thing goes, the more he looks like Lex Luthor that we're familiar with, because he gets fatter, he smokes more cigarettes, he starts balding, he's shacking up with Lois. And even that whole thing is they still tease Lois and Superman getting together. There's something about those two that'll always link up. Doesn't matter where he's raised. And even his Superman is still, yes, he's a socialist, but he still just wants to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. He wants to help everybody. He doesn't care. Yes, the motherland is his rightful home, but it's still a world. The ending, though, where it leads into Luthor, the L's, Luthor's eventually gets dropped to just L, and it's a loop where now Earth is Krypton, so to speak. And it's a time loop. That was probably one of those holy fuck. If they didn't end it like that, I don't think the book would have been that crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we both got to that ending, and it was just like, holy shit.
The ending is insane. But I mean, just everything about that story just kept me going. Like, I bought the 3 issues together because went to the comic store. You know, sometimes he has a run like in the package together. Yeah. And I was like, sweet. Mark Millar, man, let's check it out, right? Not even like Superman.
Exactly.
I'm looking at Mark Millar. So
I still look at that symbol, like that shirt every once in a while. I'm like, man, I should buy that shirt.
That's a great shirt.
It's hilarious.
So cool.
Sickle and hammer.
It's amazing they still make it. Because this has been like years now since this happened.
But people still buy it.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, I almost bought it, and I probably will end up buying it. That one and the Kingdom Come one are the two that I'm always kind of like back and forth on. Mm-hmm. But I'll probably end up buying that one too.
I'll just get both.
Yeah.
Call it there.
Yeah, fuck it.
Got all the other ones.
You got a 1-2 punch right here.
So that's number 4.
Whew. Ooh. Shit, son.
Now, Morrison makes it onto my list with new X-Men.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, you got your 2 Morrisons there. DC, obviously.
Yep.
For me, and I was already monthly on the X-Men. I was reading X-Men for a while. Like, I started collecting it monthly in, like, issue 70-something. Mm-hmm. This is issue 114, where they're like...
I was just going to say 114, because that's the kind of dork I am.
It's number 114, and I was reading about this beforehand.
That was when it was actually branded New X-Men, though.
New X-Men.
That's right.
Like, they changed the title, they changed everything about it.
That's the first time I ever saw Frank Quitely's art, too.
Yeah, right. And at first I was just like... I really warmed up to it. Like,
almost
really.
immediately.
They had all the black costumes because the X-Men movie was so huge. So here comes the black costumes for the comic book. Mm-hmm. And it was such a grounded, well-told, incredibly wacky at times run. But it
was also a school. Like, it was actually
It was an actual school.
It wasn't just a front for this mutant terrorist activity.
Yeah.
This was a fully functioning school open to everybody. Mm-hmm. Not just mutants, primarily mutants, but everything. Wolverine was a gym teacher, for fuck's sakes.
I know. I loved it. I loved so much about it. I wish Frank Whiteley could have done the whole run.
Oh, my
God. But
God,
at least the fillers that they had were still excellent artists.
Well, I wouldn't say Jimenez was a filler.
Okay, Jimenez did quite a bit. Ethan Van Sciver came on for a bit.
And, yes.
And then they had, I believe, Igor Cordy did a little bit.
I can't remember Igor Cordy.
I think he might have did a little bit, and then
Van Sciver. I remember his run, and he was just getting his feet. Yeah, he was just starting to get his art style.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge fan of him just because he's a huge douchebag in real life.
Oh, he is.
Oh yeah, he's a masterpiece.
I didn't realize you met him.
I haven't read. Well, read his tweets. You'll learn him real quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good thing he doesn't work for Disney.
Yeah, I never will.
I didn't realize he was a huge douche.
And then they ended with Mark Silvestri coming back to the X-Men. Yeah, it was a weird arc to end it with. I kind of looked past that, too. Like, to me, the end of the run was the 4 issues prior to that.
When he kills Magneto.
Yes.
Or when Jean Grey kills Magneto.
So we're introduced to Zorn, and who is Zorn? Like, the whole time we're trying to figure out who is Zorn.
This Chinese Zen healer character.
Yeah, they finally reveal him as Magneto.
All hopped up on, what was it, N?
Yeah.
Is that what the drug was called?
Mm-hmm.
Was it
N?
Anyway.
It was something like that.
He was hopped up on drugs, so of course, like, when mutants take this drug, their powers get amplified.
Yeah.
So he's super powerful, but he's also fucked because he's addicted to this drug now. So he needs the drug. Mm-hmm. So because when he's off the drug, his powers start to deplete.
Right. So really cool take on Magneto.
Yes.
We're introduced to Cassandra Nova.
Oh.
One of the coolest X-Men villains ever.
Like,
easily.
When you talk about, like his last episode I mentioned that rarely can you add a character in the backstory and it works, but with Thomas Wayne they did it.
Yeah.
With Cassandra Nova, this is insane. Charles Xavier's twin that was so evil that he tried killing her in the womb. And then her essence, her like mental spirit, didn't die. She just found a body. And then like was it his body? No.
No, it wasn't his.
No, but she just found a body. And,
yeah.
Could you imagine that? Like, first of all, that tells you how powerful he was.
Shows you how powerful she is.
But in the womb, for him to immediately be like, wait a minute. Nope. And they had that scene where, like, as a baby, he's wrapping the umbilical cord around her.
How fucked is that?
That is fucked.
That's what I'm talking about, like, the wackiness, like the level.
Was it Extinction Agenda? Is that what it was?
E for Extinction.
E for Extinction, yeah. Genosha? Gone.
Yeah. And the whole Genosha stuff was incredible, like, the giant monument to Magneto and everything. Because they're, like, worshipping their fallen god.
That's right. Magneto was right.
And
those
the
shirts,
whole time,
I said they should have
Magneto
sold
was
that
right.
shirt. I said they should.
They did sell it. I owned it for years.
Oh, my God. And, like, when they... Well, that was the thing. I was like, man, I wish now they should have Cyclops was right.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but fuck. Like, that was a crazy good run. And that was one of my favorite things was that, like, everybody, when they write X-Men, they write as Wolverine and the X-Men.
Exactly. Yeah.
Morrison wrote the X-Men as the X-Men.
Wolverine was there, but he was just one character.
That's right.
Like one slice of this pie.
But how much did he build up Cyclops?
He built him up so much. Like, he was so incredible. And then they had that insane love triangle between him and Jean Grey and Emma Frost.
That was fucking crazy.
Nuts.
And I didn't like it because, like, I always like my heroes to just be good guys.
I know. But I mean, it gave him a human aspect. Like
exactly.
I didn't like it at first either because I love Cyclops and Jean Grey together, like the marriage issue.
That's all we've ever known, right? Like, that's all we've ever known was that they were together.
The animated series, they were together. Like, they're always together.
So it was like, but then you get it because he's like, the Phoenix. Like, you're so perfect, and like I'm not. So that's why I was with her, and she's just like, okay, fine, whatever. So that was such a crazy run.
And wouldn't Emma like make herself look like Jean?
At one point, yeah, but he was like, "Don't do that."
Yeah,
like immediately. Like,
yeah,
don't do that.
I know. She turns it. Oh, it was such a mature take on it. I'm amazed.
Yeah,
that it was getting away with what it was getting away with.
Even like the introduction of Phantom X.
Yeah, Phantom X,
and
so
that
cool.
whole Weapon X Utopia, where like Wolverine, Cyclops, and Phantom X go to take down the entire like this self-preserving world that's creating all the more Weapon X's.
Yeah.
Or not Weapon X's, but weapons, because Weapon X was actually Weapon 10.
Yeah, a number.
Which was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah. And that was Bacalo. He did that 4-issue
Because Phantom X was 11, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And Phantom X was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
So cool, they kept him around forever.
Yeah.
Until
every now and then he'll still pop back up.
Well, now he's actually the body that Professor X is
right.
currently...
Yeah, he's in the body.
He's got hair right now. She's...
Crazy sci-fi ideas mixed with.
I don't know, man. I love the idea of like Professor X being in a wheelchair. The world's most powerful mutant.
Yeah.
Mental path, like telepath, can't even walk. I think that is just a crazy juxtaposition. But yeah, that run was amazing.
Yeah, because I mean, I enjoyed X-Men. Like, they were fun adventure, like fun issues and everything. But they're forgettable.
That's right.
I cannot tell you what happened in X-Men 113.
No.
113 or 114 on to the end of this, I can tell you what happened after too, because it was like, oh, we're following this with Chuck Austin.
I was just gonna say, was it actually followed with Chuck Austin? But it was.
It was Chuck Austin.
It was immediately followed by, and that's the worst run too, because you think, well, Salvador LaRocca was on fire. He's a really good artist. Awesome. Even Extreme X-Men, which was a shitty read, the art was great. Was it Extreme X-Men with Scott LaBelle?
Extreme X-Men. No, Extreme X-Men was that was Chris Claremont.
Was it?
It was Chris Claremont. He did Extreme.
And that's the one with
Storm,
right,
as the leader.
That's right.
I mean, I enjoyed it because that's where like the classic feeling of
I remember I didn't like it.
I was a mutant freak though.
Yeah.
Like, I collected almost everything. Like, okay.
Yeah, no, you were a mutant freak. What was I going to say? Oh, but then Astonishing X-Men.
Yeah.
That's right. I was saying that's what followed it afterwards, but they started their own run. That one almost made my list, too.
Yeah?
I was really... like.
I was close to adding Astonishing. Close. I only wanted one X-Men on this. But easily, Whedon and Cassie had done my second favorite run on X-Men. Easily.
25 amazing issues, and they could have, like, undid all the work that Morrison did, but they took it and they expanded upon it.
Yeah.
Like, they still had Cyclops being a fucking badass. Like, he was just as cool and astonishing as he was.
And I loved his Astonishing costume.
So did I.
It was a great costume.
It was so awesome.
Actually, all of their costumes were really good.
That's right. Because Wolverine's only had slight tweaks.
Slight tweaks. Beast had that weird X-shaped.
Yes, that's right. I remember that. That's the only thing I like, and I was laughing. It's like, so what do we do? And it's like Cyclops says, astonish them.
Yeah. Who would say that in any sentence in real life? Astonish them. Like, I would burst laughing.
Okay.
Like, yes, astonish them.
Yeah. Okay, Cyclops, well, astonish them.
And there was that awesome new X-Men annual as well that was printed horizontally. It was a widescreen format, so you read it like a widescreen.
I forgot all about that.
It was so cool because I remember like, oh, who made the new X-Men annual? I went to pick it up, and the staples were like at the top. I was like, what the hell is this? And it was all widescreen, like you're like
I
a
could
movie.
literally see you just being like, what the fuck is wrong with this comic?
How do I put this in the bag?
And then
do I go
like,
staples first, staples at top?
And you're like, oh, yeah. I forgot all about that. That's
really cool.
That is, yeah.
That was really cool.
Grant Morrison.
But my ending sequence here.
Yes.
This is very cool. When this came out, internet was kind of just picking up and stuff. I didn't have internet at home yet. I had internet at Westgate High School.
Right. Yeah.
All Melons Breaks. I'd be checking out. Back then, it was Comics Continuum. That was the site I checked out.
Oh, okay.
Comics Continuum, they would post like, it was like a blog type site.
Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
And they would have all the solicitations. I was like, what's a solicitation? Because I didn't look at Previews Magazine or anything.
That's right.
So like, what's a solicitation? I clicked on it, and here's like little write-ups and cover images for all the books coming like in 2 months, 3 months time. I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm going to know what's coming out 3 months
now
prior?
I couldn't imagine not knowing what's coming out.
I know. It's insane.
It's fucked up.
But for me, it was such an amazing time as an X-Men fan. I actually say that the early 2000s for X-Men was basically the same as their WWF Attitude Era.
Oh, yeah.
You had new X-Men. You had Peter Milligan and Mike Allred doing X-Force and X-Statix.
Oh, yeah.
You had Greg Rucka coming on in Wolverine.
That's right.
At the same time, that was huge.
There's also that Agent X run.
You had Agent X, they had the Deadpool thing
really
going on.
Good Udon, which it started off really good, and then once they got off the book, I was like, well, still really good. I really liked it. Yeah, that was
all around at the same time. I mean, Extreme X-Men was where you kind of went to get your classic X-Men taste. Because new X-Men, new X-Men, a lot of the classic X-Fans hated it.
I know.
Hated it. I mean, for obvious reasons. If they did something like that to, like, you know.
Like, the way I looked at it was, like, if you watch the X-Men movies, and this is your first time with ever any of these characters, and you liked it, you would gravitate towards new X-Men.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you'd see the cover and go, oh, that's almost exactly like the movie.
That's the movie.
You'd look at the other ones and go, yellow spandex?
Yeah.
Why would I look at that shit? You know?
Then they had the Marvel Tsunami line at that same time.
Yeah.
Where we had awesome, like, there was Mystique had her own book, Emma Frost,
that's
New
right.
Mutants, Sentinel. There were so many good X-Men books. Like, I had a huge card.
Yeah, but I mean, that was before Marvel was bought out by Disney.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, X-Men was lucky that they were a big moneymaker. Otherwise, they would have been just like Fantastic Four and written out of history.
Everyone looks at that like, oh, Fox's X-Men suck. You know what? Marvel would be gone right now if it wasn't for that movie. That movie made the X-Men huge.
Yep. Oh,
like, they were already big. They were moneymakers in the 90s with the animated series and Jim Lee and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But that session in the early 2000s, like, Marvel was going bankrupt.
Yeah.
It was this X-Men stuff and Marvel Knights that saved their ass. Blade. Well, I mean, Blade
got
was
the foot in the door.
Blade got the foot in the door, but it wasn't going to save them by any means.
No, but it's one of the reasons why it helped them. I'm not saying like
absolutely.
Like if you would have taken Blade out,
yeah.
it would have been harder for them. It wouldn't have been as quick.
Right.
But you're right, Marvel Knights,
which just turned 20 like 3 days ago.
Yeah, it's nuts.
20th anniversary of Blade.
Watch that one. Was it some motherfuckers always trying to skate uphill?
Yeah.
That's the best line ever.
So great.
Best line ever.
So yeah.
Suckheads.
Number 3, new X-Men.
Yeah. Even though the ending is fucked, I hate that ending. As much as I love Marvel.
What was it called? When Tomorrow or Tomorrow's Future? Tomorrow's something.
Yeah.
It was very weird. Like, it almost like Morrison had like this idea, like, I want to do this little thing before I go. That could have easily just been a miniseries.
Yeah, but like they jumped 100 years in the future.
Yeah.
And Wolverine is still like Wolverine. He hasn't aged really at all.
Yeah.
Beak is now
Beak.
You know, like a tank.
Yeah. Beast
is super white and evil and omnipotent, and it's all centered around the Phoenix eggs, and it's just like.
Yeah. It wasn't great.
Especially because you had that awesome ending where Wolverine, like, guts Magneto, and he's overloaded by the electromagnetic force of the Earth. Like, Jean Grey hits him with the fucking Earth to kill him, kills herself in the process. That's an amazing ending.
She stayed dead.
Forever!
She just came back this year.
I know. Okay, like, I mean, I don't really care.
That's a long time to be dead for a comic character, though.
Yeah, well,
I mean, sure, they had young Jean Grey in there to, like, tie everything over.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck cares about that?
Well, now they're finally, like, getting to that shit.
I honestly feel like that was the end, and then Morrison was going to do a miniseries, but Marvel didn't know how to fucking follow that run to keep the series going. I think that was like, could you just... We'll make this.
Oh yeah, maybe.
We'll make this 151 to 154.
Yeah,
and then we're like, oh, okay, I guess we're getting Chuck Austin because we don't know how to fucking finish. Like,
yeah, but I don't even like. They must have thought that was a good follow up.
How though?
I don't understand.
Him. You notice how I didn't mention Uncanny X-Men on that list? Because Austin was writing it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He was the Uncanny guy.
That's right.
And the art was great on his run because they got like crazy freaking Japanese artists to come over and do stuff.
That's right, yeah.
But yeah, it was awful.
Yeah.
So that's number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2.
Hold on, real quick. Just gotta remember this. Wasn't it that Chuck Austin's big idea, a couple of big ideas, was to actually have Nightcrawler be a demon and have 2 penises?
Yes.
That was one of them?
2 penises, that was definitely one of them.
The Zorn fake-out is undone because they actually found the real Zorn.
They found a real Zorn.
That's right.
Found a real Zorn. Yeah, you're nailing it. That's Chuck Austin.
Instead of having, Nightcrawler just be the son of Mystique, and just because he's a mutant, that's how his powers, and that's how he turned out the way it was.
Yeah.
It was Azeroth was his dad. That's right.
I don't understand why Marvel were obsessed with this guy. It's like, you got Morrison, Bendis, Miller, Austin.
He did
what?
He nailed. He was big for a while, and then gone.
And then disappeared.
Cause
gone. Like they even got him drawing things.
He actually started out doing those bullshit superhero sex comics. That's how he got his start.
Yes.
That's right. And then brought that same sensibility to your flagship fucking titles.
2 penises on Nightcrawler.
That's almost as crazy as having a celebrated writer who had one of the best runs on Batman and had the long Halloween, and you put him on your Ultimates lineup and you say, hey man, we're going to jam you with the hot artist, Madureira. What are you going to do? Well, I'm gonna have the Blob eat Wasp, and then I'm gonna have Wanda and Pietro Maximoff fuck each other. I'm actually gonna have Wolverine see them have sex with each other. Is that cool? Yeah, sure, Jeff. That's cool.
And the editor at the time clearly coked out or something.
Bob Harris is probably who the editor
Bob
was.
Harris?
It might have been.
No, it was,
no, Bob Harris is old.
No, it was Quesada.
Quesada, that's right.
But that might have been Axel Alonso at the time. Who
yeah.
was a really bad editor-in-chief for Marvel.
Yeah, he was.
C.B. Cebulski, I think he's got the right idea with the way things are looking this year.
The way things are looking with Marvel is pretty cool, but I think, again, it's just one of those things where it's unfortunate that, the movie shit is shaping the comic book stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm happy to see Fantastic Four back, but they should have never left.
Mm-hmm.
But even X-Men being downplayed, because I don't care who you are or what you tell me, X-Men were definitely being downplayed in the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Once was X versus A or Avengers versus X-Men, after that hit, then they were all just kind of downplayed to the point where they killed off Wolverine.
Yeah. I mean, Inhumans had just as many comics every month.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh no, Inhumans. Everything's Inhumans now.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys. Fox
That's
has
right.
the rights. Fox has... Oh, we're buying the rights back? Let's have a whole bunch of X-Men comics again.
And now I guarantee you will suddenly just be like, oh, the Inhumans,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if a writer comes up with a good idea for the Inhumans, we'll probably have a run on them, but I mean, that's about it.
The latest run, and this is hilarious. This is really funny. You're going to love this.
Oh, man, I hope so.
So last year, it was fuck the X-Men, Inhumans, everything.
Yep.
This year, it's 4 new X-Men books and a miniseries called The Death of the Inhumans.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
After Disney buys Fox.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, they announced a movie for Inhumans, and that was one of those ones where I'm like, that's never going to get made.
Never going to get made.
Never going to get made.
Not happening.
Well, I don't know, maybe, because the Guardians. And I said, well, that's still never going to get made. And then when they're like, well, we're going to put it into the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's still never going to get made. Well, then we're going to have a TV show. 1 episode? I think it literally made 1 episode.
No, only a few episodes, but they put the first episode on IMAX screens, special deal with IMAX, and IMAX was like, yeah, we're never doing that again. They lost so much money that weekend.
I never thought I would... If you would have said, hey, Chris, why don't you watch a TV show on IMAX? I would have been like, why?
Yeah, why?
Why would I spend that kind of
watch
money
it
when I
at
can
home.
watch it for free? And also, it's about a show that I'll probably never watch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure, let's do that. All right.
Number 2, Invincible by Robert Kirkman.
The entire
Cory Walker, Ryan Otley.
Yeah.
The whole
The
run.
entire run.
All 144 issues. It's fucking incredible. It's the best superhero comic book in the universe.
There you go.
Kirkman was so full of himself, rightfully so, that he put that title on every issue's cover.
Yeah.
And you know what? It lived up to it.
Yeah. The only reason why I even checked it out was because you were like, I
went apeshit with it.
You gotta read this. And I was like, okay, alright. And I'm glad I did. Okay, now I didn't stick to it all the way through. Mm-hmm. But that is definitely one of those ones where I'm going to revisit from start to finish. Because, like, I said in... Yeah, actually, I had said the beginning of this one. Yeah, beginning of this episode, like, how it's like the mash of Superman and Spider-Man together. Because it is. It is about a kid who grows up and finds out that... Or I guess it would be like Superman as a young kid or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, that template that they have and then what they did with it... Holy shit.
Your dad's a superhero. He's the leader of the greatest superhero team in existence.
He's fucking Omni-Man, for Christ's sake.
He's an alien from another planet, but he saves Earth every day.
I love that his alter ego is also an award-winning artist, or writer,
yeah,
who writes about Omni-Man's exploits. Yeah. I was like, that's hilarious.
So good.
So good.
But then the turn. And this is like issue 6, 7, maybe 8.
Yeah, it's
the
quick.
Turn. He
gets his powers, he's training him, and then it's just like, oh, no, hold on, I'm an alien, and I'm actually
here to take over the Earth.
I'm literally here to take over the Earth. And he's
Our Viltrumites are going to come down here, we're going to fuck all the humans, whether they want it or not.
Yeah.
We're going to make a bunch of new babies.
We're just going to terraform this whole planet.
Take over the world.
You know, and that's it. That's literally
and
all we've ever done.
No.
He's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then they have one of the, like, brutalist fight scenes.
So brutal.
That up until that point, you had never seen. You'd never seen anything like that up until that point. I say up until that point because, like, it just keeps up and
that's the amazing thing about this book is that it can go from the most heartfelt, dramatic, beautiful moments where I'm teary-eyed.
Yes.
Flip a couple pages and you're seeing the goriest, most fucking insane thing you've ever seen in a comic book.
Torso, ripping that torso through. Yeah. You're just like, oh. And they don't shy away.
They don't shy away. And amazingly, this doesn't have any nudity. It doesn't have swearing. But the violence goes above and beyond what you have ever seen in a superhero comic book.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I was reading it, it reminded me of Eric Larson and Savage Dragon. Because it had a similar vein.
Right.
Where, like, I think in the entire run that I've read so far of Savage Dragon, and I've fallen off the wagon for quite some time, but we'll get back onto it. I think there was maybe 5 swear words.
Yeah.
No nudity.
Rarely happened.
No nudity, but the violence was crazy. And it was, but it didn't feel out of place.
These days, apparently, it's full of nudity.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. He actually had an issue that had to be released in a polybag because it shows a vagina on the cover. Yeah.
That's funny.
It's crazy.
That's actually hilarious.
Yeah.
But what the fuck?
I know.
I'm sorry, Eric, but
Eric, you're watching a lot of porn at your age, man.
I don't even know if it's porn. I think it's just like what is going on here?
Like
maybe he just stopped giving a shit. I mean, he's still writing that book, so
there's a lot of nudity now, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll start checking it out.
Oh, I bet you will.
Who needs the internet when I can just look at Eric Larson's doodles of titties?
Big boobs on little legs. Oh, Larson.
But yeah, I was actually waiting for Invincible to show up, but
yeah, I mean, you knew it was going to be here.
And this is your second?
This is number 2.
Ooh, to top this one will be interesting.
This is the best superhero comic of all time. So it tells you that number 1 is not superhero based.
Spoilers.
Spoilers!
Oh, okay.
The Camcast is all about the spoilers.
Yeah, that's true. So hold on. Before you get to your first one.
I'm not done with it.
Okay, good.
We're not done. Okay, so I'm going to go through my notes here. Okay, Mark and Eve as a couple are just as amazing as Peter MJ or Clark and Lois. They were one of the most realistic couples that I ever seen. Absolutely. And it started off like, it was so perfect. Like, this book feels so real. Like, we grew up with this guy. We saw everything. Yes. He starts off as a teenager. He gets powers. He's in high school. He meets this girl named Beth. They're high school sweethearts. They love each other. They go to college. They're in love. But along the way, he meets this Adam Eve superhero. Adam. He's starting to get feelings towards her, but he still loves Beth.
Yep.
And now he's in this weird situation. It's like, do I leave my high school sweetheart that I know, that I love?
Yep.
And chance this? It might not work out. And it ends up working out amazingly. They have a child. They get married.
Yeah, but even just some of the characters that you meet along the way too, like Robot Man.
Oh yeah, what Robot?
Oh yeah, Robot. Sorry,
there's Robot. There's
Robot.
Monster Girl. Monster Girl's awesome. It's a little girl too. So this giant monster, like a male monster, but it's a little girl and stuff.
Oh man, the character tropes that he uses, he mines every single superhero out there.
Oh yeah,
but does him in like even just like Robot towards the end of that run, you're just like, you almost are like, well, I mean, do you really stop him?
Yeah.
Do you really do it? Like it's like a lot of people are saying like Thanos has a point, right? Robot actually had a pretty good point.
It's a really good point.
You know, but the level of insanity this book does, like they do alternate dimensions. You see multiple versions of Mark.
Mm-hmm.
You see Mark getting almost killed routinely. The entire Viltrumite army, or that whole storyline, when it's introduced in I think it's 6. I think you're right, 6 or 7. It's the forefront for the rest of the series.
It's 7. It's 7 because
That's
the
right.
first issue I bought and I collected onward
That's
was
right.
number 6. And I found out about this book from Wizard Magazine once again. Because at the end they would go, at the end of every Wizard issue they would have that, you should be reading this.
Yeah.
And they would show you a few panels from this comic. I was laughing. It was Mark and his friend William, and they're hanging around. And Mark's got his powers. He's revealing to William he's got powers. He's flying William around. William's like, "Oh, this is so fun!" And I was smiling. I was like, "I gotta read this book." And I didn't really read much Image at that time. I had my little '90s thing.
Yeah.
And to me, I always thought, Image doesn't really put out really well written books.
No, it was rare.
They're good looking. Art's always awesome.
Oh yeah.
Reading wise, so I gave it a shot, and I stuck with it.
Oh.
It's now one of my favorite books ever.
I remember when you said like, for me, Invincible is for you, Savage Dragon.
Yeah,
and then I was
that's
like,
how I always
get
felt.
I totally get it. Like 100%, I get it because.
And I thought that not even a year into the book, I was like, I have found my Savage Dragon.
Yeah,
because I never really felt that way.
Right.
You had this special connection to Savage Dragon, and I love Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
I was obsessed with Wolverine. But Wolverine had a lot of shitty books that I still bought and read, and they sucked. But I liked Wolverine.
Right.
Invincible, I was like, and I remember saying to him, it was like, this is my Savage Dragon. Finally, I found my Savage Dragon.
Yeah, but it was just like, but I mean, you couldn't have picked a better book, though.
I know.
How do you feel about the ending?
I'm tearing up just because
How do you feel about the ending?
I don't want to say too much about the ending, but I'm cool with the ending. I like the ending. I wanted that book to go on forever. Yeah. When he announced it was ending at issue 144, couldn't go to 150. So 144 is going to be the final issue, and I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken because, to me, this book is so much better than The Walking Dead. So much better. The Walking Dead, though, has this giant marketing machine behind it. It's got this TV show, and
come on, Amazon Prime, baby.
Yeah, it's coming now, but the book's over. I feel like I feel like if that would have came 5 years ago, and Kirkman went, "Look at the money I'm making off this," Invincible would have kept going. Yeah, I know that Otley was done. Otley was like, I can't do it anymore. Like, that guy's a machine. That guy's a fucking machine. Like, I don't care what anyone. That guy was putting out monthly. He was rarely late.
I know, that's incredible.
And every now and then, like every 2-3 years, Corey Walker, the original artist, will come back for a 2-issue filler. And then Otley's right back at it.
And but Otley doesn't get a lot of respect because it's almost cartoony in the sense, his art. But it's incredibly detailed. It's so detailed. You look at the webbing on Spider-Man, a lot of artists don't do like that. They'll do the spaced out. His is a tight webbing. Yeah. Okay? And just, the designs on Robot, the different designs of the various marks, what the fuck was the giant head guy? Oh, Angstrom Levy. Yes! Which, also, great name. So many great villains. Dinosaurus. Dinosaurus was awesome. Conquest.
That Conquest arc.
Holy shit.
That Conquest arc. Like, this book does not shy away from real world, like awful real world talk. Men and women violence. It's here. And it's sickening. And it breaks your heart.
They had, like, Mark get raped.
Mark,
and
yes.
That fucked him up.
Woman on man rape. It happened.
It fucked him up so badly. He could barely talk to Adam about it.
You never hear about it in fiction. Ever. It's always like, I've watched so many movies where there's a woman getting raped. I hate it. Most of the time, I'll fast forward to that.
I can't stand it. And I mean, like, even in this one, and I feel so strongly about it, like, I mean, I feel like they didn't have to have that.
They didn't have to have it.
But they did it, and it was
at the time
crazy how they did it, because it wasn't glorified by any means.
No.
He was messed up about it. But even, like, later on, when they actually have her apologize, she literally sits there and says, look, I'm sorry. Like, I should never have done that. You know? And then, like you said with Adam and Eve, that relationship was amazing. Mm-hmm. Even the fact they had a kid, and the kid stays alive.
And again, like, Mark would go off on these crazy adventures in space. You had Alan the Alien. You had fucking Battle Beast.
Yes.
Oh, Battle Beast. So amazing. But Mark would be gone. We would have 12 issues of Mark in space.
Yeah.
Not knowing what was going on Earth.
That's right.
He came back to Earth. Eve is all pudged up. She's overweight. Because she was stress eating. She thought Mark was dead. She was done with life.
I couldn't get over that either. I was like, I can't believe it. Actually, like,
unbelievable.
And he still was with her. Like, he wasn't like, oh, I'm fat now. I gotta find a
he didn't care. He actually like, oh, whatever. Yeah. I love you. I love you.
Yeah, that's exactly
it. You be a twig or huge, and I'm gonna love you.
Oh, and every time they teased that they were gonna kill her off, I was like, oh god, don't do it. Mm-hmm. Don't do it. And they didn't, you know?
There's some really close calls, and I was so like, got her leg ripped off. That was just.
There's so many parts in this book that you're just like, I can't.
But yeah, it's becoming an Amazon animated series. I'm happy I'm a Prime member because I can't wait for that.
I actually may just become a Prime member for that.
Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg are working on a film. Like, Invincible isn't gone. It's just, it's transferring over to different areas.
Which is great.
But holy shit, I miss it.
I feel like I actually have to agree with you. I feel like if he backed this one more so,
I don't know why he didn't. Like, I never ever understood like why The Walking Dead so much.
And I read one book. I mean, it wasn't the beginning or anything. Then I was familiar with it, and I remember reading the book, and I was going like, "Yeah, it's actually pretty cool," but I couldn't see myself reading this forever, and not just because it wasn't superheroes, because, I mean, I've read books that aren't superheroes. It's not, you know, it is what it is, but, and then it was the same thing that happened with the show. Like, I watched 2 seasons of the show, and by about the beginning of the 3rd season, I remember just kind of being like, I don't care.
The show was so great at first, but then it started following the comic book format, and the comic has, I read the first 100 issues. I stopped, issue number 100, I was like, I'm done. It will go roughly 20 issues of these people, and you're loving these characters, and you're growing with these characters. And then this crazy dude comes along, pointlessly murders a guy, and then the team kills this guy, and they escape to a new area.
Exactly.
Build it all up again. Boom.
What was the eye patch dude? Was he?
Oh, the governor?
The governor, yes.
The governor, yeah. The governor was kind of, I think he was the first, like, big bad.
Yeah, when they introduced the governor, I was like, okay, all right. And
rides in on a tank.
When then you start hearing about Negan.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah. And then I started thinking the same thing as you. I was like, oh, okay, so this is like. I mean,
Negan?
Negan.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, they were teasing him. Like,
and now
till you meet Negan.
The Whisperers.
Yeah. That's kind of neat, but I know it's going to end in the same way. Issue 100 of The Walking Dead, watching Glenn, one of the original characters, get his head smashed in with a bat for 4 pages. I quit reading. I saw 3 panels, and I shut it.
Oh, I couldn't imagine.
I was sick to my stomach. I felt like I was going to puke. I've never had a comic book do that to me. I was nauseous. And then I was like, you know what? They've done this 4 times in this 100 issues to me. I'm done. And you know what? It's continued since I stopped.
Yeah.
Same fucking pattern. Invincible played a lot of the similar superhero tropes that we see from Marvel and
yeah,
DC, but they try new things.
They constantly were spinning it on its, like, spinning every little trope on its head.
Issue number 60, The Invincible War. Kirkman was like, we're going to do a full image crossover in one issue.
Right.
And we got a full image crossover in one issue. It wasn't like Marvel and DC, let's do 7, 8 issues and 7 miniseries on top. So you need like
at least 7 miniseries.
You need like 60 issues to read this whole thing.
You need to like work 4 jobs just to own every single book.
Yeah, you know what? No, we're going to do it in one issue.
Especially because like half the time you read some of these miniseries and you're like, oh, that added absolutely nothing to the story. But thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, so, I mean, I mean, what else? Do I have anything else to say? I think, no, I'm pretty good.
I have to agree. Like, you've got a stellar list, I gotta say. This is a pretty stellar list.
Thanks, man. Yeah. That's what I love, you know? Like, they were special to me at the time, and they've continued that.
Yeah.
They got that spot in my heart, just like your list has for you.
It's just like, fuck it. Like, there are times, and it sounds so funny, but like, I'm feeling down, I'll read The Death of Spider-Man, and like, I'll be perked up. And it's the weirdest thing, because it's the end of this guy's life, but I'm like, I'm just so like...
Because you're like, oh, wow, his life's worse than mine.
Especially right now.
I'm perked right up.
No, but it's just that, like, it reinforces, like, you know what, yeah, but be good, and good will follow, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Number 1?
It's not a superhero book.
Here we go. Number 1 is...
Hold on. It's not a superhero book. Maybe I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess Alias.
Wrong. My number 1 of all time is Why the Last Man by Brian K. Vaughan and Peter Guerrero.
Oh wow!
My favorite comic book ever.
I didn't know you finished that run.
I did.
Huh.
I had all 60 issues, and I got all 5 hardcovers on my shelf.
I'm gonna have to start borrowing them from you.
They are incredible, and since you haven't read it, I don't want to get into it too much, but I will just talk about.
I know enough about like.
It ran 60 issues from 2002, 2008.
Yeah.
And for the most part, it was monthly. The last arc they went bi-monthly. They kind of spread it out, I guess.
Okay.
And I think it was like a double or triple sized issue for the final issue.
Oof. And
it was crazy. Like the way they did the last issue was nuts. But so Pia Guerrero, she's this Canadian artist from Vancouver. She's amazing. She's got this really clean, almost animated-like style.
Yeah, the stuff I've seen, like the interiors and shit, I was always just like, oh man, that looks really good.
Really well done. And for the most part, she did all 60 issues. There was a couple filled Goran Saduska and Jose Marzan Jr. They had similar styles. They filled in for a couple issues here and there.
Okay.
But their styles were similar enough where it never pulled you out of the book.
Oh yeah,
right? So which was really great. Which is really great.
Get that one issue where you're just like, why the fuck would you get that guy?
Yeah.
To do this. Anyway.
There's so many scenes that are just incredibly vivid in my mind.
Okay, well, let's pretend like nobody knows about this. Give us the backstory.
Okay, Why the Last Man is takes place in this post-apocalyptic world. Starts off like this any other day.
Yep.
All of a sudden, every male, anyone with a Y chromosome on Earth, bleeds out and dies horribly.
Except for
Yorick Brown and his monkey Ampersand. The only 2 males.
The hook alone was like, I was like, man, I should be checking this out. But I was so entrenched in superheroes that because now as I get older, that's one of those books I want to check out. The Invisibles, Grant Morris's run.
Yeah.
Was another one I wanted to check out.
These books are incredible. And
where you're just like, holy shit. Like, it's a lot of the Vertigo stuff.
People are going to be so fucking shocked that, fucking The Dark Knight Returns and Watchmen are on our list.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to be that shocked. We did say fuck Dark Knight Returns. Or did we say fuck?
Yeah, we said something like that. I mean,
sound like that? Oh no, we went fuck you.
Sorry, they're overrated.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I got into this. I decided to check this out because Brian K. Vaughan was doing Runaways.
Yeah.
I love Runaways. Yeah. I really loved it.
I wanted to check that out.
So I was like, I'm going to see what else.
Just Runaways. Was really good.
I'm going to see what else this guy's up to. And this, I was like, oh, okay. It's pretty. This at the time was nothing I ever read before. I was reading superheroes.
Yeah.
I didn't read stuff like this. I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot. It sounds neat. First issue, I was like smiling, laughing, the way the characters were interacting and everything. And then we get the gruesome fucking death of all males on Earth, and they show it, and I was just like, ugh.
Ooh, that is pretty gross.
And then York's alive. I was just like, I gotta keep reading this. This is
even just the
good.
premise, because then it's like a group of the remaining women are trying to get after him.
So you got this group of
oh, hey, look at me for a second.
Booger?
Yeah. It's the weirdest way to do it. Instead of just like this, you...
Well, I mean, you already pointed out that I got snot. In my nose.
I'd rather just point it out.
Is it still there?
No, it's gone now.
Is it gone?
Yeah.
Are we safe?
I think we're fine.
All right.
Maybe next time I'll just let you have a booger in your nose.
Yeah, we're not doing any close zoom ups anyways.
But if they notice it...
Now that you've pointed it out, I'm going to purposely zoom in right before you point it out.
Thank God.
I hope it's noticeable.
I hope so too.
Hashtag Ken's Boogers.
Okay.
All right.
We'll
make that work.
Rehash that or whatever
we can
the
make that work.
Is.
So you get this group of women that know about York. You got Agent 355. You got Dr. Allison Mann. Another thing, Dr. Allison Mann is a lesbian, and this was the first time I really saw someone gay in a comic book.
Okay.
It wasn't really a big thing back with our superhero comics. So obviously now it's becoming more.
Right, but I mean, this is going back a ways.
So I was like, oh. And it makes sense. It's a world full of women, so you're going to have to, if you want love.
I like that, though. Like, you're right. Like, you wouldn't see that, because, like, even in some characters where they always hint at it, like, North Star was always hinted at.
Yeah,
but they
exactly.
actually, I remember there was
really
an editorial where they were like, we'll never actually say he's actually gay.
Yeah.
Until, of course, it's become so accepted now.
So, I mean... As far as I know, this is the first comic I read with someone gay in it. And she was gay before this happened. Like, before all the men died.
She wasn't gay.
She was like, oh, men are dead. I guess I'm gay. No, it was, and...
Oh, men are dead? Okay. I'm still going to go to the grocery store.
I love the way she was written, though. She was very quirky and funny and incredibly intelligent. She was the one trying to solve what the fuck happened. Why are all the men dead? Like, can we bring the men back?
Figure, if all the men are dead, eventually everyone else dies too.
They were like, York, if you have sex with someone and they have a boy, is that boy just going to die? Like,
that's right. And also, like, you have to make it so that we're not farming York's semen out.
Well,
Jesus.
Exactly. So, I mean, you got this group of women helping him. You have a sister hero. She's a really great character. But she goes into the wrong crowd. There's this group of women. They're nuts, called the Amazons. They basically lop off one of their breasts.
Oh, wow.
So they're all just one-breasted.
That's a sign of solidarity. Jesus.
And they're crazy. They're fucked.
Would you imagine that, like, joining a group and it's like, yeah, we're the dudes.
Yeah.
You gotta cut off one of your nuts.
Yeah.
Would you do it? Or you'd be like, hey, guys, it's been fun. I gotta go. Thanks for the chips.
That group over there is letting me keep all my parts.
Yeah, so I don't have to cut anything off. Nothing at all.
I'm going to go chill with them. Cool.
And instead of punch, we're drinking beer. So I'm going to keep my nuts.
She's a great character. And she goes through this really great arc where she gets into this background, goes through with...
She does, eh?
Goes through with it. And then eventually realizes, like, I think it's been a while since I read it. But I believe she finds out that York's alive, and this group knows that York's alive, and they want this man, right? Because, I mean, in this world full of women, there's a bunch of crazies, and they want to rape this guy. He's the last dude out there.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So let's
that's what I mean.
Let's
like,
find this guy and rape the fuck out of him.
Let's farm his fucking semen,
exactly,
Like,
right?
literally put him up to a machine and just milk him.
Which puts her in this situation where it's like, this is my brother. I can't do this. I thought my brother was dead. She thought her brother was dead.
Of course.
So, like... And all of this is happening while he's trying to find the love of his life, Beth, who went on a vacation, and he's trying to get to her with everyone following him, protecting him.
Wow.
He keeps in disguise. He's got a hood. He acts, from people afar, he'll act feminine and stuff to try to,
well, yeah.
Can't be a dude, right?
Yeah, you got to do everything you can to, like, not have everyone go, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That guy is a guy.
And then people start finding out the monkey is also male, and then they start going after him too. and it's nuts. It's
what?
So
why do they go after the monkey?
So good. It's male. They got to figure out, why are you alive? Why is that monkey alive?
Oh, I'm glad.
Are you alive because of him, or is he alive still because of you?
Oh, wow. This is intense.
It's so fucking good, man.
I'm definitely going to have to pull
So good. The story's plotted out just so seamlessly. It flows nicely. You got all these different arcs going on. It's kind of like Invincible in that sense, where this is a story, this is a story, this is a story, but you got this big thing going over the top.
Right.
And it goes right to the end, and it's awesome.
I never would have guessed this was your top of the list, man.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really say much more. I don't want to ruin it for you. I don't want to ruin it for any of them watching.
Even though right up until this point, we've just, like, unabashedly just destroyed
everything.
But now you're like, you're saying you don't want to ruin it for them. You really don't want to ruin it for me.
Yeah, I really don't want to ruin it for you.
I appreciate that.
I really don't want to ruin it for you. I have the hardcovers. You can borrow the first one whenever you want and check it out.
I will definitely do that, like, tonight, so.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. So that is my number one, Why the Last Man.
He's like, when you said it wasn't a superhero one, I was like, did he read Fables and not tell me all about it?
I did read a little bit of Fables. It was decent. I liked the game more, though.
I liked the concept, like the actual story behind it. Mm-hmm. And I also loved the adversary.
Yeah.
Was something you never would have thought would have been the adversary. And then when you find out, you're like, Jesus fucking Christ. This is what happened? Wow. And I'm not spoiling anything for some people.
Thank you.
Did you actually read?
I read the first two.
Do you know who the adversary is?
Yeah, I vaguely remember. It's been a while.
Okay. All right. So. Anyway, what about your runners-up?
I got 5 runner-ups with little tiny paragraphs.
Woo!
Okay, so number 1 on runners-up.
I don't know why I was doing that. Like,
I liked it, though. You're almost like Thomas the Tank Engine. That
was one of my favorite shows, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Let's do a Camcast one day.
It's not that good.
Not that good.
I mean, it was one of my favorite shows, but it wasn't like,
This is the Inspector Gadget episode of the Camcast.
Yeah, no kidding. You ever, like, look at some of those theories about Inspector Gadget?
No.
It's fucked. Like, what is it, Dr. Claw.
Yep.
Is actually Inspector Gadget.
Oh, I vaguely remember something about that.
And the Inspector Gadget that we're familiar with is like his doppelganger, and that's why they're enemies or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
It's just one of those, like, couldn't it just be that he's evil?
He's just the bad guy.
He's the main bad guy, and, Inspector Gadget is trying to catch him.
Runner-ups. We touched on a couple of these in your episode.
Oh, we did we?
We did. But number 1 is Kabuki by David Mack.
Yeah,
I've always loved Kabuki, but Kabuki is it's a series of mini-series.
Yeah.
And each one is very different from the last one.
I read one. I think it was one of the first ones you got. I remember reading.
The first one is Circle of Blood. And Circle of Blood is my favorite, because Circle of Blood, when I'm reading it, I'm seeing a movie in my mind.
Okay.
It's David Mack. David Mack, he writes all of them. He did just a classic comic book style with this one, all black and white.
Yeah, okay, that's the one I read. That's the one I read.
Very cool.
I thought it was really cool.
It's still the one I read the most.
He's a trip artist, though.
He's amazing. Now he does like this amazing watercolor paint style, where he'll like add in like cutouts of things and like the word bubbles are all over the place.
Well, that
it's very abstract.
Daredevil was like that.
Exactly, and that's how his Kabuki is now, and I still enjoy it. That original Circle of Blood is so good, so good. So that's all my runner-ups. It almost made it into my top because I've always loved Kabuki. I mean, you only got 5 to play with. It's tough.
That's right.
So next up, Ultimates by Mark Millar and Brian Hitch. Especially Ultimates 1 more so than Ultimates 2.
Yeah, Ultimates 1 was amazing.
Ultimates 1 has the single issue outside of Ultimate Spider-Man number 13 I've read the most.
Oh.
Which was number 3, I believe.
Okay.
Where the Hulk is taking down the city and Cap takes him out.
Beats the fuck out of him, kicks him in the nuts and everything. That was intense.
That is such a good book.
Hitch is
insane.
Oh.
Hitch is like...
Holy shit.
He was better then than he is now, though, I think. Now he seems like he's rushed or just doesn't care as much anymore. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I gotta agree.
You see
because
some of his new Hawkman stuff?
No.
He's on
I don't
Hawkman
even want to
now.
read it, actually, because
it's Hawkman.
it's not so much that, but because like I read his Justice League of America run.
Okay.
JLA,
yeah.
And that's where he wrote it and
Right.
drew
Yeah,
it,
he was doing that for a bit.
and it's good. It's actually really good. Like his writing is really good. The art is really good, but I do remember distinctly going like, I thought you were better. I thought you were better than this. And it's not that it's bad.
And he's
it's
a
just,
slow artist.
And that's It's not that he's bad. It was just like I do remember like just being blown away by Ultimates. Even Ultimates 2 just being like, oh,
Ultimates
shit.
2 is awesome too, but Ultimates 1...
The handling of the escalation, where like Captain Britain and all the others are, and eventually you find out that Thor is actually a god of thunder, things like that. So there's a lot of really cool stuff, but the first one was
And I mean, Ultimates 1, that set the entire foundation for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Easy.
Yep. I'm glad that they didn't really go with that version of Captain America, though, because he's a fucking brick.
Yeah. Oh, God.
He's a huge brick.
I love the Chris Evans cat we got.
Yeah.
Batman Hush, we talked about that in your episode. But, I mean, that's on the hump of mentions.
Yeah.
The original Wolverine 4-issue miniseries by Chris Claremont and Frank Miller.
Oh, I've never even read that one all the way through.
It's awesome. It's really good. It takes, Wolverine before that was basically just X-Men's crazy muscle.
Yeah.
This is nut.
That's true.
Bounced off the walls.
Isn't that where, like, you get introduced to Patch Wolverine?
Patch Wolverine. Well, I think Patch...
Or was that...
No, Patch came in his monthly. Number one.
That's right. That was his
This introduces you to Japan. To everything that went on in Japan.
Oh, that's one with the cover where he's like this.
Yes.
And it's like, hey, bub.
Yeah.
Is that what he says? Hey, bub?
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But that's awesome.
Okay.
Frank Miller's art is awesome on it, and it's great. And then the last one is a book that I guarantee you had never heard of. It just came out 2 years ago. It's not a comic book. It's a graphic novel.
Okay.
It's called The Sculptor by Scott McCloud. He's the artist-writer on it. It's incredible.
Okay.
It is so emotional.
How come that one didn't make the cut then?
It's only 5, man.
Okay.
It's only 5.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's in my runners-up. So it's a hardcover graphic novel. It came out a couple years ago. It's this beautiful, heartbreaking tale.
Why is that name familiar?
Oh, he's a writer-artist, though. Maybe some other things sometimes.
Zot Comics or something like that?
Maybe.
He's been around forever, hasn't he?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think it's the one I'm thinking of.
This was published by, I think, 1 Second Comics. Like, they do a lot of those, like, real-world one-shot things. But it's told in such an insane cinematic style. Like, this has got to be a movie.
Really?
If someone doesn't pick this up, I will never understand why it was never picked up.
Okay. All right.
But this guy basically...
Well, maybe now that they'll have some play because of our Camcast.
The Sculptor. Check it out.
Okay.
It's a beautiful love story, and it's a heartbreaking love story.
Okay.
Can't recommend it enough. That is my top 5 comic books of all time.
For now, anyway.
For now.
Yeah, because you never know. Something might smash the top 5.
I don't know if it's ever going to be top 5 material, but at the moment, Donny Cates on Venom is doing some crazy awesome stuff.
Yeah, you were telling me that that's really off the wall right now.
Crazy awesome stuff. And who knows? I mean...
Well, I mean, like, there's also... I mean, I could probably just talk about favorite books in general, because there's that Mark Waid run on Daredevil that was
there's so many good ones. There's so many good ones.
It was so good that I was disappointed with Mark Waid and Chris Samney's run on Captain America.
You know it's good, then.
No, the Captain America run wasn't.
No, well, I mean, I thought it was good, just didn't live up to Daredevil.
Oh, yeah, no, not even close.
Oh!
Not even close. No, in fact, I wouldn't even read it again, the Captain America run.
I had no interest in reading it.
And Mark Waid did a run on Captain America before, and I remember reading it.
He did, and it was a really good
Him
one.
and Ron Garney, they did a really good run, and I remember, and that was when Cap wasn't Cap.
The death of Cap and everything, too, right?
And you had, like, the fucking bandana, because everyone had that bandana.
Everyone had the bandana. Oh,
the bandana
man,
mask, and it was just predominantly blue and red with no American colors. That was a good run.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
So that's top 5. I hope everyone enjoyed. Chris, where are we at? Where can you find us?
Oh, we are. Hold on.
You're really good with this.
Hold on. Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah. Twitter.
Started off with that.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. YouTube.
Right.
Yeah. Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. SoundCloud.
Yes.
Yeah. And iTunes.
Bam! Nailed it. Didn't say Spotify that time. At Geek Pants Media. Thank you, everyone, so much. We will see you soon.
Sooner than you think.
These pancakes are delicious.